narrative. Never go hiking with a man. Never go hiking with a man. They basically just stranded me. I don't even know where the fuck I am. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just following a path. I don't even know if this is the right path. There's so many, but we walked for at least 2 hours to get here. So there's about another 2 hours.
I mentioned in a couple of my stories how my ex and I used to go on hikes together all the time. That was kind of the main thing we did. It was almost always initiated by him. That was kind of like one of the only things he would agree to do together. And he was especially really mean to me on these hikes. He would either like give me the silent treatment, walk ahead of me, just be really mean to me, scoff at me, make me feel like I'm just really inconvenient to him. And I had a bunch of other women commenting, saying, same exact thing like happened to me. We would go on hikes and like the same thing happened. And I was like, that is so odd. What a weird coincidence that there are other women dealing with the same thing on a hike. Like, that's so specific. And then someone commented that I should look up Alpine Divorce. Alpine Divorce is so common that they had to create a name for it. And it is when most of the time a man takes a woman on a hike, usually his significant other, and he abandons her instead of breaking up with her. I had never heard of this before, and it sounds like it is something that I may have been a candidate for. So I just wanted to spread the word.
Hello everyone, welcome to Belle's Take. My name is Belle. Now, in today's video, we are going to discuss Alpine Divorce. Have you heard of it before? I was 2 years old when I heard of Alpine Divorce, I won't lie. I honestly couldn't believe what I was watching. The idea that someone would take their partner on a hike, abandon them in the middle of nowhere, and hope they get lost or don't make it back is absolutely horrifying. It's cruel, heartless, and incredibly dangerous. If someone no longer wants to be in a relationship, there are honest and respectful ways to end it. Putting another person's life at risk is never the answer. These stories are disturbing, and I truly hope everyone caught in this situation finds safety, support, and justice. No one deserves to be treated this way.
Shit's getting weird. Part infinity. I was 2 years old when I found out about Alpine divorces. Because what do you mean you don't want to be with your partner anymore? So instead of you having some balls and say, hey, I think we've run our course and I don't want to be with you anymore, you would rather take them up into the mountains and leave them there to die as a form of divorce? Honey, do you want to go for a hike? You do? Great. Well, I was thinking about hiking up this one right here. I know it's a bit strenuous, but we can do it together. Let's go. All right. There's something mentally wrong with y'all. That's crazy, bro. Just leave. I've never understood that. I don't want to be with you anymore. But guess what? You're going to have to die now. What? Just leave. Just cheat. Cheat. I'm not condoning cheating at all. I'm just saying it's better than killing somebody. That's what I'm saying.
If you don't know what an Alpine divorce is, listen, I'm not an expert. I learned about it last week. But it's when a man takes you hiking or takes you on a mountain and abandons you there with the hopes that you will. What? White women, why y'all letting these men take you out into the woods? Stop going out into the woods. Don't go out into the woods by yourself. Don't go out to the woods with a man. Don't go out into the woods with a man whose your relationship with is on the rocks. If you know you are at a shaky part in your relationship and the man that you're dating suggests that you go on a hike to some remote part of the forest or some remote, hard to reach mountain, don't go. 2 things that Black women have been marked safe from this year: Epstein Island and Alpine divorces. It is crazy.
Somehow it gets even more disturbing. Some of these stories claim that some partners go as far as taking out life insurance policies on their partners before the hike, making people question whether the trip was planned with terrible intentions from the start. Now, if that's true in any particular case, it's not just shocking, it's chilling. A hike should be about enjoying nature together, not becoming the setting for betrayal or violence. These stories are a reminder to take warning signs seriously, to prioritize your safety. No relationship is worth risking your life over.
Some men do not have the patience to wait for years for their wife to die from the stress they've inflicted on them. So guess what they're doing? They're taking their wives to dangerous locations and they're leaving them there to die. They're taking them on hikes, they're taking them rock climbing, they're taking them out on lakes, and they're abandoning them, or they're letting them fall through a hole in a cave. That way the death does not look suspicious. The death is going to look accidental. One man went as far as taking out a life insurance policy on his wife 2 months before he pushed her off a cliff and called 911 and pretended that she fell. Luckily, investigators were able to connect the dots and realize that her death was not an accident. And this is so common that it's been given a term called Alpine Divorce. This is nothing new. The first time this term was coined was back in the 1800s because men have been taking their wives out into the woods and leaving them there to die. Men have been taking their wives on hikes, taking them out on lakes, taking them mountain climbing, rock climbing, bungee jumping.
My entire timeline this week has been talking about Alpine divorces, and an Alpine divorce is when a man takes you up into the Alps and leaves you there in hopes that you will die as a way of breaking up with you. Great. That entire conversation makes me want to tell you guys dates that women should be saying no to, largely in general, but especially as first dates, in hopes of mitigating the likelihood that a man will take them somewhere and kill them. The first one is hiking. Hiking is great. Have the best time hiking. You're going to go hiking in places where you can guarantee there will be other people at all times. You're going to go hiking in places where you are going to have cell service at all times. He wants to hike Runyon Canyon with you, Griffith Park, phenomenal. He wants to hike the gorges in Ithaca that are fenced in with you, phenomenal. He wants to hike a random ski trail that hasn't been touched in years because his boys told him about it and it's going to be beautiful. He's going to go by himself. You're going to make some hot cocoa for when he comes home, and then he's going to tell you all about it. Boating! Boating is so much fun. He wants to take you boating on the most popular lake? Of course. He wants to take you boating in the middle of nowhere, where no one would know if you fell overboard. Not happening, sweetheart. Whitewater rafting. No idea why people find this fun, but to each his own. He wants to take you whitewater rafting at a popular tourist location with other people around. Of course, have a ball. He wants to take you whitewater rafting on your own? In a place you've never heard of, your friends and family have never heard of and won't find you? Where that phone's not gonna work because you'll be whitewater rafting? No, girl. And of course I don't make this video to say that women should know better than to go on exciting, adventurous excursions with the significant others in their lives. At some point, to some extent, you're going to trust your boyfriend, you're going to trust your husband, etc. Otherwise, the relationship isn't going to work. But women also have been socialized to accept activities or put themselves in situations that they feel uneasy about to avoid being rude or seen as overreactive or overdramatic. Be overdramatic when it comes to your safety. You do not have to do anything that makes you feel uneasy or unsafe or that is high risk just because someone in your life wants to do it. No. And very clearly, time and time again, women are proven right for being apprehensive to engage in said excursions.
Okay, I'm willing to bet you didn't know this because I didn't either. But apparently there's a cultural update from the other side. And this thing called Alpine Divorces is a thing where a husband takes his wife on a hike into the mountains or into the forest and abandons her there to establish and declare that he no longer wants to be with her. See, I don't see color. You hear me? This is not a joking matter. I don't believe in color. Right? It's purple people. It has to be purple people because it's not the brown people. So it's obviously the purple people. Because how are we discussing women getting kidnapped and abandoned as something that is a trend? All of a sudden, crime becomes this fun, ambiguous thing that we can't really figure out what exactly is happening. Whenever it is caucus crimes, that people just find a way to rebrand and change the marketing. Everyone's like, oh my God, it's this crazy new thing. As husbands are abandoning their wives in the mountains in the forest. I said, is it Abraham and Isaac? What kind of joke is that? You know, for a while now, it's been feeling like the Monopoly game started 2 hours before we got there. And we walked in and everyone's like, come on, play. It's going to be fun. It's not. I have joked here before and said if some people had their way, they will call colonization a rescue mission. And people laughed. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. They're abandoning women in wildernesses and forests in the name of a divorce, and people are out here talking about seeing this crazy new trend, like it's an Alpine divorce.
As heartbreaking as these stories are, remind us how important it is to value and protect human life. If a relationship has run its course, walking away is always better than putting someone in harm's way. No one deserves to live in fear or have their safety treated as disposable. Hope these stories encourage people to recognize warning signs, look out for one another, and choose compassion over cruelty. Stay safe, trust your instincts, and never ignore behavior that makes you feel unsafe. Thank you so much for your time. Please do remember to subscribe and engage with this video so YouTube will push it to a larger audience. Stay safe out there. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.